was actually panic attacks. Yeah. And all I can describe it as like total doom. Basically, you think you're gonna die, and there's really no way. You just kind of have to wait for it to pass. And I figured this out because I would talk to my mom, and she has really bad panic attacks, and she's like, Haley, I think that's what's going on here. So I was like, okay, well then maybe now that I know it's a panic attack, I can kind of prevent it from happening. And by the way, these would come on at random times. I'd be in my car going to class, going to work or something, and they would just happen randomly. So there wasn't any like triggers. I mean, I could say maybe stress brings it on, just general stress, but nothing ever like happened to cause these. I was just like sitting in my car, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 like crazy shit. Anyways, so we figured out it was anxiety, and so I was just kind of trying to manage it on my own. I noticed whenever I went on really, really long car rides, I would literally have to pull off the road because I would start having one. And this was always when I was driving like for like 4 hours somewhere. Like I had to go from Tallahassee to Orlando or something like that. Whenever I was on really long car rides, driving by myself, like if someone else was in the car, I was fine. But if I was by myself and driving, I would get a panic attack and have to pull off the road because otherwise I'd probably like crash the car, because my hands used to do this thing where they would like tense up. It was a really, really strange and terrifying feeling. They would basically clench up and I couldn't open my hands. But yeah, I don't like thinking back on it. It was such a weird thing. So I had to literally make sure my hands were able to move before I started driving again. But that was always one of the weirdest symptoms, was like the hand thing. When I would hyperventilate a lot too, they would do that and they would just freeze in like this weird position, almost like not open and not closed. It was so strange. I now know that I think it is because of the hyperventilating, like you're not getting enough blood or oxygen to your hands or some shit like that. All I know is that it's a terrifying feeling, and I hope you never have it. But yes, that's when I started realizing that the long drives were triggering panic attacks. So I would frequently make excuses not to travel because I just didn't want to put myself in the situation. And when I'd have them in the middle of the night, I told you guys I used to get those like brain zaps. Like I'd just be laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden, like, and I would just shoot up in bed, and it'd be so weird. And I would always have to like wake up people trying to call them and try to get like reassurance. And so my dad was getting so mad about the whole thing. He's like, you gotta stop fucking calling me, whatever. So I was just a mess in that year, especially a mess. Like I felt like I was like the only person on the planet that was going through this. But now that we've covered the basics of what kind of was going on, I'll tell you what I finally did. Okay, so I was talking to my mom about what I should do about all this, and she's like, you should just go to the doctor, get it figured out, because that's what happened to me, and now I'm on the best medicine in the world. I was very, very hesitant to do that because I had been on medication, anxiety medication, back in high school, and I had a terrible experience with it, and I just stopped taking it, and I never went back because of how it made me feel. I was on venlafaxine. I think it's called like Effexor. That's like the brand name. Anyways, I fucking hated that medicine so much. I would never cry. I would never laugh. It was like a full total robot. I hated that medicine. So I kept, trying to find excuses. Be like, I'm not going to the doctor. I'm not doing that again. I don't want to feel that way. Until it just got completely out of control. I was like, I guess I have to go and just see and tell them, like, I'm not going on that one. So what I did was I found a psychiatrist, and I told them what was going on, and they're like, yeah, sounds like anxiety, sounds like generalized anxiety, and the panic attacks. And so I told them, I have been on this medicine. I did not like it at all. I had a terrible experience. I because me and my mom are pretty similar, so maybe what works for her will work for me. So they prescribed me that, which is sertraline, which is actually Zoloft, which is actually an antidepressant. And I was surprised because I didn't know they prescribed depression medicine to people with anxiety, but maybe I was a little depressed too because I was living all alone in college and people being loud. I was living all alone in college and didn't really have my family around, and I was kind of feeling lonely, so maybe I was depressed too. They also prescribed me Klonopin for as needed, so like when the panic attacks would happen, I could take one of those, and it's like a kind of like a Xanax but not as strong, so that was really helpful. The sertraline did take like I think like 2 months to actually kick in, and I never felt anything, but one day I just woke up and I was like, holy shit, I just realized like I haven't had any anxiety for this long or this little period of time. And then I realized that's it was working. I think I was on like the lowest dose, and I eventually went to a higher dose just for a bit. I only had to use the Klonopin like once or twice because I wasn't having any panic attacks. Yeah, so I definitely was surprised, but I'm really glad the medicine worked. And eventually this year I was like, I think I'm in a better place. I didn't feel like all this stress from school and work together. I think I was in a much better state mentally. I was like, I'm going to try weaning off the medication, and I did. I cut the pills in half, started taking half doses, and then eventually just stopped taking them. And now I am free of medication and also pretty much free of panic attacks. Every once in a while I'll get like an extreme bout of anxiety, but to me it's like manageable because I never get to that point where I'm like, then stop. It's not like that anymore. It's more of just general anxiety and me getting stressed and spiraling, that type of thing. But I got off of it, and I've been off of it for probably 6 or 7 months now, and I've been so fine. If they do start coming up again, they could. I'll probably go back on it, but as of right now, I kind of can tell when like I'm getting in that state, and I'll just like take a moment, take a breather. Zen. We need Zen. It's gonna be okay. You live in the now and not live in the future, because that's what people with anxiety do. We live in the future. So yes, I am off of the sertraline now. I do keep the Klonopin just in case I have in one of those extreme bouts, but I'm telling you, I haven't had a panic attack since. I guess kind of the moral of this story is like, don't be opposed to like going to see somebody if that's what you need, because I really was hesitant to go to the doctor after the first experience, but I really think if I hadn't taken that medicine during my last couple years of college, it could have been really bad. Like, I would have just completely lost my mind. Now that I'm, just more living a stress-free life, I don't need it anymore. But go to the doctor and listen to them and take the medicine if you need it, because I'm telling you, the second I took those, I was a different person. And now I can just manage it without the medicine. So I hope you guys learned something from this. I don't know, it's kind of a basic story, but I just wanted to tell it because I know a lot of you guys used to watch the other ones where I'd be like, this is happening. So please give this video a big thumbs up if you listen to this story. Comment me video ideas down below as always, and subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. I love you guys so